trans women experience significant gender inequity. We are more likely to live in poverty, more likely to experience hate, harassment, and violence in our lives. And so a feminist movement that is truly imagining a better world for everybody, one in which we have eradicated gender norms, it has to include trans and gender diverse people, because we often bear the brunt or significant volume of the hate.
The truth is that we won't move forward in the feminist movement. We won't ever reach gender equity unless we center and we focus on the needs of the most marginalized people within that group.
Bring you a quick update to the story of Faye Johnstone, the biological male transgender activist who has been recently hired to give the keynote speech at the Regina YWCA Women of Distinction Awards. I want to show you the amount of government funding from the province of Saskatchewan and the federal government that has been received by the YWCA, this organization which now hires a man, at least biologically, to speak on behalf of women and girls. Now, as a perfect sidebar to this whole mess, one of the nominees for the Women of Distinction Awards is also a biological male. You can learn more about this story, see my first report, sign the petition to the YWCA, and also send a pre-written email to the manager of events for the YWCA at a special website, firefaye.ca. Now, some of you might know the name Faye Johnstone from another controversy. This biological male was also selected as one of the chocolate company Hershey's spokeswomen for their special Women's Day edition of a chocolate bar, which naturally, obviously, blew up in the woke company's face and inspired the Daily Wire to do some epic trolling and create their own chocolate bars in response. A gendered chocolate bar for women and a gendered chocolate bar for men, wherein the male chocolate bar was the only one with nuts. It's a cute joke, isn't it? Anyway, last week, in response to my petition and my email campaign, and in response to the outrage levied at them from biological women online who are absolutely sick and tired of having their opportunities stolen from them by men, YWCAs all across the country issued nearly identical, if not completely identical, statements of solidarity with Faye Johnstone. You see this allegedly feminist organization, the YWCA, with a mandate to promote the rights and opportunities of women and girls. Well, it was telling actual women and girls to sit down and shut up while we let the man do the talking for us. In fact, some of the women leading the charge against the hiring of a biological male named Faye Johnstone to speak on behalf of women were deplatformed on TikTok for speaking out, including my friend Lise Merle. Like I said in my first video, I suppose us little ladies should just shut our pretty little mouths while the men folk figure this stuff out for us. I was accused of being in a feminist group, which is a new insult even for me. Now, what I can tell you is the YWCA Regina was recently the recipient of $3 million in grant funding from the government of Saskatchewan. That was combined with another $2 million from the federal government. I should tell you, the money is to go to affordable housing for women and children. But I'm not all that sure it's going to go to housing for actual women, as long as the YWCA is involved. Now, before I close this video, I just want to point out really quickly what an absolutely vindictive misogynist opportunity thief this Faye Johnstone really is. The trans activist is supportive of the defunding of the only single-sex rape crisis shelter in the country. The Vancouver Rape Crisis Shelter is the only place in the country where women exposed to sexual violence at the hands of men don't have to sleep beside a biological male who may be identifying as a woman. At Rebel News, we're going to make sure our petition is delivered to the YWCA Regina. I will not be bullied by these people, because even though social media platforms, trans activists, and radical feminists and the YWCA want to silence dissenting women on the issue of trans activists taking our opportunities and co-opting our female experiences as their own, I'm going to give these women a voice. So add your name to the petition and send an email to the YWCA at firefaye.ca. Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. To sign our petition calling on the YWCA Regina to cancel this invitation to a biological male to speak on women's issues, please go to firefaye.ca, and at that same website you will find a preloaded email that you can send directly to YWCA Regina expressing your dismay at their hiring of Faye Johnstone. Again, that's firefaye.ca.